going on, YouTubes? Jimmy Changa back with an update video on Covent Garden settlement. Now, still in my experience, even after the hotfix, this is the only settlement that I'm able to get working without a hitch. Now, there still are there's some quirks, there's still some problems, aka it says I have a populace of 9, but 2 of my settlers are missing. And I think what happened is they fell in the water. Because I did initially have shops here. And I don't know if they phase shifted like through the floor and fell in the water. But they're gone. And as you can see, there's no shops here. I thought maybe deleting the shops for a second, they would come back. But they have not came back. Now, as you can see, settlers work in the shops aren't the issue. When I first set those shops up, they were fine. They were actually standing behind the stalls. They were serving me like absolute bosses. But then they just kind of fucked off. So, it ain't perfect. But at least I can get my settlers assigned to food. I can get them assigned to shops. For now, this is kind of my home away from home. This is where I come, kick my feet up, relax, check on my slaves here. It's essentially my dictatorship utopia. So, enter Covent Gardens Market. Now, right off the bat, we have 2 entrances to get in this place. And since you have to actually go through a door, I think that is the main reason why this settlement works. It's not attached to the open world like the rest of the settlements, so for some reason that allows all the systems to work, which is why I decided to dump all my resources into this place. And to be honest, outside of that, this place just kicks ass. This place rocks. Like, it is the perfect space for a settlement, realistically. And in my experience so far, it's unraidable. I've never seen anybody come through these damn doors and try to raid this place. And God forbid they do, they're going to get absolutely smoked. All my settlers are decked out with armor. They got weapons. As you can see, I got 54 defense. Come at me, bro. Try to raid this place. I dare you. We move on. So, there ain't much going on here, and as you can see when I pulled that up, the main reason for that is just the border here doesn't allow a whole shit ton of space. So, I'm really kind of just working with what I got. The other side, which we will see here in a second, kind of acts as my main entrance. But we do have 2 turrets up here, just in case. And then we walk through this main hub onto our first strip. Now, as I just explained, my idea was to line this canal up with shops, kind of like how I have here. So there was a stand here, there was a stand here. But unfortunately, it seems to me that my settlers that were occupying these stalls have died hard like Bruce Willis. And, you know, that's fine. That is fine. I understand that they like to party. And, you know, I'm not gonna dispute that. I mean, if you want to party in the river, by all means, party in the river. I'm not gonna stop you. But it would be nice if you would bring your ass back to the stall and start making me some money, because the bills don't pay themselves. So I gotta figure this out. I'm not... Let's just say I'm not too keen on putting the stalls back on here yet until I absolutely figure out what the hell is going on here. Because, I mean, we're skipping a bunch of stuff right now just so I can show you what I mean. This over here is also over the canal. But she's like legitimately standing over the water without an issue, so I have no idea. And like I said, when I initially put those stalls up, they were standing behind them working them without a problem. And then I left for a while, did some missions, came back, and they were gone. I checked in here, tried pulling the old Q to see if I could target lock them. I just don't know. They're just gone. I mean, as you can see, I mean, my animals like to party. They like to get into the chemdem. Oh my god!
What? What the fuck?
There you have it. They... Wow.
I think you might be in shock, sir.
Nah, I think it looks worse than it is.
Alright, so it looks like they got into the chem den, partied a little too hard, and ended up on the roof. Now, I thought that was just strictly, like, Brahmin related, because my Brahmin loves to party. He likes to leave his pen, likes to get into the chems, and the next thing you know, his head is either through that refrigerator right there, or he's partying on the roof. So, I don't know. I don't know how that works, but apparently they're partying too. So I suppose if I ever want to sell something, I have to make a staircase up to there? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys. You're seeing this live in real time like I am. So we move on. At least now I have all my settlers accounted for. I'm wondering if I ring this bell, if they'll mosey their ass on down here. So, while we're waiting for everybody to come on over, we, well, you know what? Let's see if they're even moving. Nah, fuck. They're stuck. Alright. So, I don't want to waste much more of your time. I mean, we're 7 minutes into the video and I've showed you nothing. So, in here is our weapon stall. Now, there's space here because I am going to put an armor stall here as well. So this is kind of going to be a joint effort stall. We're going to have weapons and armor up in this biatch. And I mean, hell, while I'm here, I might as well just absolutely drop this like it's hot. So bam. Now we have a weapon stall and an armor stall in here. So once I pump my charisma up a little more and I'm able to get some more chimchongs in here, we will have a absolute Casanova of a room here dedicated to weapons and armor. Now, the open sign never comes down because they are my slaves and I expect them to work 24/7. If I catch them not working, there's problems. Now, look at these guys just chilling, bro. Let's count. 2, 4, 6, 7. We got 9 peeps up in here. We have problem. And problem is, these mother truckers can't get off the roof. So I think what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to have to build some kind of staircase up there. See if they'll come down. If they don't come down, I guess I'm going to have to kick their ass out of here and wait for 2 new people to come in. So, with that out of the way, now that you're starting to see some of the quirks, as you can see, I still got to finish that room. Got to figure out what's going on here. Got to figure out why people are getting into my chem den, partying, getting on the roof. And then we got my scavenger station here. So, all these boxes came factory, and the dolly is pretty much so what prompted me to put the scavenger station in here. It just kind of made sense. The dolly kind of said, hey man, if you don't put a scavenger station across from me, there's going to be problems. And to be honest with you, dude looks pretty intimidating. I did not want to question his authority, so I just did as I was told. Put it in here, and the more I look at it, the more I start to think that this is actually the leader and I'm just kind of following. Moving on. We got our cigarette station because we got to give these dudes cancer. We got a Brahmin phase shifting through the fence, which that's a whole nother story. I can barely fit through here. I actually made the... At first, it was a gate, but somehow, apparently the Brahmin has opposable thumbs, and he was able to open that gate, and he just kept piecing out. So then I put this here, and it was a little wider of an opening at first, and he was piecing out. So I figured, alright, let me squeeze this as tight as I can so I can still fit out here, but the Brahmin gets stuck. Wrong. The Brahmin is never stuck. He is a junkie. He must have his chems. And he likes to party on the roof. Plain and simple. Moving on. So we got our Brahmin pen there. In here is our bathroom. Get your fat ass out of here.
It's a vast world. And
We
there's
got our
treasure to
toilets,
be
our
found.
sinks. Nothing to
Let's
see
get
here.
exploring.
Down here, this is my hydroponic garden. Minus the water. Other than that pump. I chose those lights because these ones look like vents, and then these just kind of look like the lights that you would see in an indoor garden. Back here is our power. We got 4 medium-sized generators, 2 water pumps, and I started to wall it off. And eventually, the whole damn place is going to be walled off because, like I alluded to at the beginning, this is a prison, after all. And these guys are my slaves. And if they try leaving, I will hunt them down. So, I got to be honest, I ain't got time for that. Nobody's got time for that. So, it's better just to keep them in with walls and leave it at that. So, strip number 2, which... makes me sad when I say out loud because strip number 1 over there where the people are hanging up on the roof was originally going to be the main strip, but I don't know. We got some serious probs going down over there, so this is now going to be the main strip. I'll probably migrate those stalls on over here, and I'm thinking maybe it's because I covered this whole canal up rather than just plopped one singular piece of wood on why this seems to be working. But as you can see, we got a bar set up here, and actually, I mean, I think this is very creative. Tooting my own horn here, gassing me up, getting the old Riz on. Because why waste this dead space? I mean, you got this whole canal pretty much so taking both hallways up completely, and the paths aren't wide enough to really do anything with, so why not just delete the railings, cover it up with floor, and make good use of it. So now we got a bar here so my settlers can get drunk, and that's really what keeps them, their pineal glands, calcified. That's what keeps them obedient, docile. That's how I'm able to control them. So the bar is pretty much so the most important feature in this settlement. We got the barracks here, prison style beds, everybody's living out of suitcases, and we have one singular channel pumping propaganda 24/7. We got propagandic figures on the pictures because, you know, these guys don't have freedoms at the end of the day. The fact that this guy has time to pump iron kind of pisses me off. Like, if you got time to pump iron, bro, you should be out there at the scavenger station where you're assigned getting me stuff. Like, what is your deal, dude? Yeah, I'm standing on top of you because you need to know who is boss. You know what? He's benching me, man. He gained my respect. Dude, he's putting up some weight plus me. Alright. I'm sorry for dogging on you, dude. You do what you want. You probably kick my ass. So nothing too spectacular here. Let's be honest. Doesn't have to be. The weight bench really is just so they would stop bitching. And everything else is just pretty standard issue. Because if they're not sleeping, they're working. So I don't got to give them anything fun to do in there. Moving on. So we got our barbershop in here. Pretty standard issue. A mirror that doesn't show you because creation engine. We got a sink to wash hair. And that's pretty much the barbershop. We got a surgery room here. We got a bed that's probably occupied. Yep, someone's sleeping in the hospital bed, because it just makes sense, right? We have our chem den, which is solely responsible for people partying on the roof, Brahmin included. I'm almost thinking this is a liability at this point, but, you know, hey, it's got to be included. It just has to be. It got to have chems. And then that is pretty much so everything. The only thing I have not showed yet is my magnum opus, which is my workshop / kitchen. And that will be... Oh, yeah, look at this. This is pretty cool. This is another asset that is Fallout London exclusive. Kind of looks like a little carport type deal. So I just parked a bunch of shit boxes under it. Make it look legit. Now we got a guard up there. I only have the money to hire one guard. And I pay him pennies. And they seem happy. I gave them a flamer and they stopped complaining. But she likes to go back and forth. So she'll be up there. Sometimes she'll be here. She does what she wants. At the end of the day, I'm fine with that. She's the one person in this settlement that I have some sort of respect for. So now we move on into the workshop. Now, I would say it's like a solid 6.5 out of 10. But at the end of the day, this little animal right here had to sacrifice some serious shit to be on this wall. And, like, you can't even fathom the amount of violence that went down to put this radskew on this wall. In fact, this is a reminder to every settler in this joint not to fuck with the Chang. Moving on. Every single bench has a toolbox next to it because, hey, let's be honest, it just kind of makes sense. We got a radio that plays white noise because subliminal messages are good for settlers. We got our magazine rack. We got our cigarette card holder. Safety first. Got some light up posters, which are badass, that the Fallout London team actually made new ones. They could have just cheeseballed and used Fallout 4 assets, but they said, nope, we're absolute boss Casanovas. We're going to do our own thing. And I respect that. We got running water, clean water at that. I mean, why the hell drink out of the water fountain when you can drink out of the sink? We got our tea station. We got our stove, our refrigerator, a nice little bar here, a table for 6, because fuck the other 3. And that's pretty much so about it. 70% done. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of my leadership skills. And we'll leave it at that. The next video on this settlement will be completely done. The settlement will be content complete. I'll show off it in its final form, but I just couldn't help myself. I had to show some progress here because I'm not gonna lie, when I fast travel into this place, my nipples start to get hard, and I figured if I'm getting hard nips, I gotta share this with the community. So I hope you enjoyed my 19 minute tour of Covent Gardens. About 10 minutes longer than it needed to be. Next video will hopefully be a full settlement build from the ground up instead of just a showcase. I want to start building these settlements on camera so you can kind of see where see what my mind frame is, my thought process is when I'm building these. But unfortunately, I don't want to dump resources into these until I know that they are going to work without a hitch. Now, realistically, I could just build it and fuck the settlers. We could just do a settlement build just to do it. And honestly, unless a big patch comes sooner than later, that's probably what's going to happen. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you like settlements. Check out my other settlement / outpost builds on Starfield. And Let's kick some ass.
Fuck you! Stop it! Shut up!